Welcome back to the Gift of Gab podcast. I'm your host, Gab, and this is season 1, episode 2. Today, I bring you someone who is very near and dear to my heart, a true queen to form, a true Texan girl turned Navy brat, turned back to Texan girl. She has spent the last 15 years perfecting her craft as a licensed cosmetologist. 9 of those have been spent becoming a certified curl specialist. Allow her to introduce herself more. However, let's give it up for Emily Morales.
Thank you. That was really good. I think you
Right?
got it covered.
I was like, I tried on that. I wanted to give your true queen
You
justice.
did. I think you did. Thank you.
So I
hmm
I find this always fun because you were my first really guest on
You was almost gonna
Trip My
say my
Roommate
first
Says.
hoe. Yeah. I was like, you gotta say my first hoe.
My first host. Oh, show. But
But
no,
I was
you were
the
the
first
first.
guest.
You were the first guest. You have always been
Yeah.
the first episode. I've always felt you have helped set a good, solid precedent and foundation to my my vision. What
Thank
I'm trying to
you.
convey.
I'm always just glad to be a part of it. If you want to try something, if you want to do it, you know, the least I could do is show up.
No,
Um,
I appreciate that. And the one thing that I really saw with this episode was it got to showcase, of course, a whole different perspective on somebody growing.
okay.
I don't understand, of course, the background on cosmetology and
Okay.
the journey that takes. Talk me a little through it. Talk us a little
Got
through it.
it. So for me, I went to two beauty schools. I actually made a mistake that turned out, I think, good for myself, but I went to a different state to try to do my hours and my training there. So I went to Las Vegas and they
Oh,
had the requirement of 1,600 hours. No, I'm sorry, 1,700 hours. And then here in Texas, they had 1,600. And I had gotten homesick. And so I did come back home to Texas, but not to San Antonio yet. My parents are still in Corpus Christi, and when my dad retired from the Navy, I finished high school there, and eventually I got homesick after leaving to Vegas directly after high school. Got homesick, came back, finished up beauty school in Corpus, and in Corpus I was able to like focus and just really go to school and not work and just knock out the hours much more efficiently. But I had a lot of my practicality and learning hands-on in majority of the processes, like hair, skin, and nails. That's what cosmetology entails. So in some regard, you're going to have good specialty from there. Like I specialty primarily in hair. I can do plenty of, thankfully, other skills, but I get to stick with what I like. And I can move into other things because my licensure does cover those things. But going to beauty school in two different places gave me two different experiences. Definitely gave me two different costs, which was the biggest regret, was the cost. But uh, part of what was just learning in life and having to just shake it out and make it happen has been going to two different beauty schools, and then school continuing after. Like you have to continue doing education, whether you just do sanitation, which is like the bare minimum after your hours. Like I guess nurses do that, and like even
mhm.
teachers have to do continuing education, but you could do the bare minimum and just do sanitation hours and things like that. Or you can go and do something more specialty. So that's where I went specialty and started with curl, and had majority of my last 9 years continuing to educate in curl predominantly, but not just for my skills and my booking. I take care of all different types of hair, straight, curly, women and children and men, any dynamic of having anybody who wants to make a change, come in and have their hair done.
Trust me, I understand all about those changes. I feel like when I met you, I started at one color. We started at one end of the spectrum, and then now what? I met you
Took
when
it back.
you know
Because
we're all the way on this side of the spectrum. We went blonde when I met you all the way, and
you
then
were
now
kind of
it's
like
like
a
black.
caramel when I met you. You were already kind of like a caramel at some point when I met you.
Such, we've done such good things. But yeah, like that's right around when you started your, I guess, like assistant, right? Is that
I
what you would
met
call it?
you. I was already done with my assistant
Oh, okay,
dynamic, but
cool.
I still have always been a helper. So like if somebody needed something, I was going to take over what I could. And probably because at that time, the person who you were recommended to was out on maternity.
Yep.
She was out having her first child. Yeah, beautiful first child, and her family was growing and continued to grow after that. So I just happened to be available,
I loved how
point
that
blank,
I loved
you
how
know.
that dynamic happened. The way for all those listening, the way I met Emily, I was a server at the time at Olive Garden. Ugh, such great places. I swear I still think about them breadsticks.
So I
So
love
so
them.
good, so good.
Salad.
Then I want to say it was her name Christine, I want to say.
Christina. Yeah, that's
Christina.
Christina.
She had come
So nice.
into my section and I really just loved her hair. I think that's what it was. It was like her hair and makeup. She had that mommy glow to her. And I just asked her, I was like, where do you, and then she said she was a stylist and she gave me her card to go to the salon. And lo and behold, it was in my neighborhood.
Nice.
So
Yeah.
I thought that was also a win. It was maybe like 5, 10 minutes away.
Conveniently located.
It was, and it matched my bougie, if that makes sense.
I like that.
Because when
Yeah.
you walked in, there was just a whole atmosphere.
Oh.
And when I went, of course, I went for Christina,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and I want to say it was the owner of the salon, it was somebody,
Okay.
but she was like, "Oh well, she's not available, but we
Yeah.
have Emily."
Yeah, yeah.
And I remember I took my now ex-husband with me, and he's sitting there because he footed the bill. uh
Rightfully so.
I was like, I'm just saying, he did his husband job. And he took me to go get my hair done.
Yeah.
And so we're sitting there, and all I see is this. I think I called you. Oh, what did I say? Oh, I said I wouldn't want to fuck with you because you had this bright ass red hair. I was like, ooh. I was like, she looks like she could fuck somebody else. I was like, I don't want to fuck with her. And then and then of
Oh.
course you come out, you're like, hi, I'm Emily. It's nice to meet you. How can I help you? Well, no, it's in there somewhere. It's in there somewhere. She doesn't have this red hair for no reason.
It was fire. It
It
was fire.
literally was fire. It was fire engine red
It
hair.
was so dope. Yeah.
I loved it though. You
So
pulled
dope.
it off.
Thank
I
you.
know I have the picture somewhere. I'm gonna have to
Yeah,
find
no,
it.
I've posted them. They're beautiful. It's beautiful. I had fun. I had every different color you could imagine. And then I've taken my hair back full circle too, and just that's where part of it is. Come back to curly and been able to just enjoy it and leave it natural and just jazz it where I can. But I like it too. It's fun. Hair's a journey. That's been good to me. It's been good to me though. I don't have those regrets of going to beauty school and having that be my path, but I do think it's interesting because it's not like y'all's experience for college, and it definitely could have been more, could have taught more, could have enjoyed like a little bit of different things, but what I got from it, I liked it. So yeah, hours of practical and then continuing to hours after, and specialty and continuing education every bit you can.
No,
Yeah.
I agree. I can see where your continuing education has only, of course, taken you from here to here.
Yeah,
And but your
thankful.
journey started with hair. Your story though your journey started with you finishing school in Corpus. but
making my way
your
up here. Yeah.
story starts in San Antonio.
Yeah, I
How did
wanted
that
to come up
transition
here.
happen?
I always wanted to come back up here. My family, my cousins, having their children, and just being back where you were originally born, and my grandmother had wanted to come back. And even if I'm not around these people every single day, it's just like being back where you were, you
I love
know.
me some G Unit.
Yes, yeah, she's so great. She's so funny. She's crazy, but she's funny.
I still remember her
Yours too.
walker with the little
Yeah, because
bicycle basket.
she had her hip replacement. So yeah, then you had that.
I was
She
like,
didn't put her
I
shit
loved
away.
it so. It was so her. It was
Hmm.
perfect. It was so on point.
She still is like, she's on point. It's funny. Yours too, though. Your grandma's pretty dope.
I
Like,
loved it. So
we're lucky to have them.
you came back more so for your family. So
Yeah,
so
yeah.
where did you pick back up on as far as hair when you got back over here?
When I got back over here, I went to a department store and worked in that salon inside of JC Penney's. And I met my current boss and my current coworker while I was there at different times. I met
Oh,
Amanda first, and then met Yvette after.
oh, so both of them ended up coming from J.C. Penney.
Yeah, at different times, different cycles, but yeah, met
That is,
them.
I did not
Yeah.
realize that. That is really awesome.
Yeah, a lot of really great people I've met working there. So I'm thankful. But yeah, picked up working there, ended up working at multiple places locally. And then eventually, when Amanda opened this place, I came over to work with her afterwards. And just because so many rough situations between that, it just, it just was not, it wasn't very good. There was so much like drama and different things where people would struggle to pay me, struggle to actually like do good, honest business.
Mhm.
So it was really, really a blessing that Amanda like was willing to take me to be an independent, but not so independent. Like I don't have to check in on quite as much as if I were working underneath someone's standalone salon with receptionists in different scenario. It is different, but I was able to get my own space and do my thing and get to clock in and clock out and not be stuck with like the inventory and the taxes and things like that. It's not easy, and I don't envy that, and I'm thankful
But
Amanda
you
does that
learned
for me.
that though
At some
because you
point.
had your own salon at one point.
Yeah, I did, but it wasn't a good experience, and it never felt like something that I really wanted to be doing. Um, I really appreciate not having the responsibility.
I
I
get
really
that.
do. Yeah, you just market yourself and your day to day, and you continue to like ask for honest referrals, things like that. And it's been good to me, but yeah.
I was gonna say it did work out for you. You've always maintained a good client base, and then even now where you're at with the certifications, of course,
Even better. Yeah, even better. Yeah.
I could see where that would work out. Were there any low moments you would say in between going from those different salons? Like were
Oh,
there
definitely. Yeah. Being stolen from, being not able to reliably have your bills paid because of like even honest mistakes, like HR shit. I remember at JC Penney's, they were still sending my paycheck to Corpus Christi for the whole first few months that I was working here. So a few months without your paycheck getting mailed to the right place, you're just working and you're literally not getting your money. So at that rate, everything was gone. And even being on them, like, where are my paychecks? Are you guys gonna mail them back? Like, how come you guys didn't figure this out when I told y'all, where is a check? I have nothing. And like, we don't have you in the system. I've been clocking in and out this whole time.
I've been
What do
here.
you, yeah,
I've literally been here the entire
there's
time.
receipts. Yeah. So to get paychecks late, even at a major corporation, um, it's not easy to get paid. There's commission, there's uh pay periods. Are you gonna get paid weekly? Are you gonna get paid bi-weekly? Are you being reimbursed for products? Are you there's just so much like are you being fucked with? Like, so it's definitely tough. But yeah, I definitely had a ton of low moments in between all those different bouncing around salons. Sorry. But again, trying to remind myself not to think that people who can't run a business are not, they're going to make mistakes, but some of these were obviously not mistakes. Some of these were like, you were really just straight stealing from me.
You're just deliberately being
Yeah,
the tool.
like there's no saving you, you know, and then you just don't want to work for those people. So the lows are also finding out that, like, I don't even want to say it because I don't want to like dog people out because people make mistakes, but like half the time, most of these people running a business don't know what the fuck they're doing. And everyone's going to make mistakes. Everyone's going to make some pitfalls. Everyone's going to have some crash and burn moments. And how
It's
you
not
pick yourself back up.
it's not even, that these people, they make these mistakes so excessively. I do have to say it's a lot of people make businesses or start businesses, but don't know how to fully maneuver through a business. Like I can definitely agree and say, I've started, the media, the creations business,
Mhm.
my wave creations, and while I stayed dormant with it for a minute, I don't understand the business aspect enough personally
Yeah, you're still
to want
learning, and
to,
that's okay.
and
Yeah.
but at least it takes a little bit to admit that and say, like, hey, I want to learn from it. But a lot of people who I've noticed this too, start businesses but don't want to receive that feedback of, maybe you just need to learn a little bit more in certain areas.
Yeah. Yeah. I think you have to constantly be learning. And if you're not humbling yourself to like know that that's just life, if you are not learning and a little bit uncomfortable, you ain't doing it right.
That goes
So,
for work and for relationships, though.
life,
I'm
just
just
life.
saying, exactly. There has been many instances where I've tried to definitely tell a partner, what I needed or how I was feeling, or just something that, didn't sit right with me. And same thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it weighs on you after a while when you can't do that constructive talk.
Yeah. But I wasn't going to give up on doing hair, and I wasn't going to give up on figuring out how to make it pay my bills. And if it wasn't going to pay my bills, there just wasn't really an option to there wasn't really an option to give up until I fell even more harder into rock bottom. And no matter what, even in rock bottom, I still had a blessing of clients and people that were still willing to sit in my chair. And sometimes it's just the truth of like telling yourself, if I just get one person a week,
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what one of the things that Amanda had said was her goal in the beginning. She was like, one person a week. That's all I got to do. She's like, and then you continue to grow from there. And then I had already had the habit of asking people, to just write honest reviews and just if there was constructive criticism, if there was something I could do better. If I made mistakes, I called myself on my mistakes. I've been accountable and explaining to guests, like, I'm not quite happy with this. I would like to have another go at it. Hate to keep you here longer, but are you able to stay later? I'm not exactly happy with these results, you
That's one
know?
thing I've always appreciated about having you as my stylist is you're willing to say what you can do and what you can't do. And
If
if you
I'm not
do, hey,
comfortable with it, I don't want to do it anymore. So I'm blessed to not be at that point in my career where it's not just, please, have one person a week in my chair. I'm valued and I'm thankful that like I'm I'm so fortunate that yeah, it's definitely booked and blessed and that I've just continued to be as trying to continue to be as authentic as I can. But now what that we have such a blessing of more people sometimes there's a lot to balance with that and trying to like try to balance PC things, try to balance things that maybe aren't even something that you didn't think you would be facing in your career base.
well, yeah, I can imagine because, going in as a stylist, a cosmetologist, I can definitely attest. You are also a therapist. You,
We wear so many hats.
I love
I'm a
the therapist.
cheerleader for sure.
Yes, a personal hype girl.
But I'm also gonna tell like that you couldn't possibly think this was gonna work out, right? Like, I mean, it's just hard.
I love how my prerequisites with you are to never give me bangs, and what is it, to slap me or tell me no or something if I say I want my hair short. I was like, I can't recall. It's one of those things. I was like, I think it's
Goes
just
to show how bad I am. I can't remember.
it's okay. We've had those moments. But I'm
You get
like,
bangs all the time. You go for those curtain bangs.
see,
You're
but
just
that's what
like,
you taught me because at first I
not
wanted,
really.
the Zoe Deschanel things going on. Realized I couldn't rock them as much as Zoe Deschanel.
I think you
And
could
then
just get
you
a
introduced,
clip on. I think you could just get a clip
I
on.
think I could get clip-ons. I've only seen one person show me like a little like how the clip-ons look on them. And I think it's cute, but of course I'm like, because I wear my other weave, like I wear the
You
bunny.
got plenty of weave.
I
Yeah.
was about to say,
Yeah. No, we know you wear your weave.
it's unbelievable. But I
Wait, no, you can't even stop from there because you will like take it down. You take it
okay,
down in your sleep. Like a love walk.
it's okay. It's I live my best life at all times.
I get it. I get it. I think I want to get a weave too, though. I was thinking about how like I want some weave for like the messy buns up
Yes.
top. Like I was thinking about it when we podcast. I was like, if I had messy buns, this would look so much better right here.
I'm
So
just
much
saying,
better.
all I'm saying, like, I can't afford to go to you every week and get my hair,
I
flipped and whipped and did.
know this lady asked me today if I could go home with her and curl her hair every day. And I was like, I wish, but
Do
it's like
you
I
know,
can't curl your hair every day. That's not healthy.
do you know what I
This will last
miss?
3 days.
Do you know what I miss about living with each other when we first had our queendom together?
What's that? What's that?
Your rent included haircuts.
It's
So all I
true.
had to
That's
say was,
true.
Emily, I need like a dust off or something. Like
Because
I
I
got an
couldn't let you
interview.
be,
I got stuff going on. You
yeah.
never ever let me out of the house ratchet.
You don't go out ratchet though. You do take care of yourself. You do. And if not, I think
I
the
just can't.
other
I can't speak to my hair.
mm, well, the other thing too is it's not just that. Like you do self-care at a different level. Like I remember being able to see you and like, you would have candles and stuff and you would like take your baths and I'd be like, that's dope. Like it's true. I do need a tub. When I move out, I need a real tub.
I'm telling you, I have never in any apartment I've lived in any house I've lived in, all I've ever asked for, and I mean, either way, if somewhere is feasible, I'm gonna live there regardless of if it has it or not. However, you will have me at first like look at the bathroom if it has
You
a
had me at
big
tub.
bathtub.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking this like single person shit. Get
Yeah.
me a garden tub. I want a big bathtub. And because I couldn't get one here
Yeah.
in my queendom now, a bitch got a hot tub.
It
I
is so
resonated with that State
nice.
Farm commercial. Can I
Every
get a hot
time,
tub?
every time I get in, I'm like, why am I not in this more often?
Because you live in
That's good.
fuck Egypt.
Yeah, I do live far. I do
But
live
it's okay
far.
though. See, that's the takeaway in trade. You drive over here, you get to relax in the bubbly.
I do like the hot tub.
I'm telling you,
It's
it's
worth it.
great for
Your
the
company is
muscles.
good company. Don't get me wrong, but the hot tub is icing on the cake. It's a great investment.
I'm a host.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
do that. You do. And you are a good host. You do. You have sparkling water, you have regular water,
Shit, girl.
you know.
We have this. This is my bread and butter.
Yes. But it's good. You've made a home and I'm happy for that. Yeah.
So have you though. Like
Pardon me. Oh,
I think
thanks.
about your journey. I think
Thank you.
about where you
I have
began.
a dope rental. I thankfully have an amazing little fur baby that's around here somewhere, probably laid up on your laundry on your
It's
couch.
okay. She's lucky I love her.
But she's loved by so many. That's what I was getting at. Is I have a fur baby that's like so well received. She drives me crazy. We fight all the time, but I love the heck out of her. Um, And that's what I was thinking about earlier when you told me, like, my journey or any of the scenarios of how far I've come. This was all I wanted. Honestly, I don't want to act like I just was putting the bar low in a way that's negative, but I really just did want to have like the ability to just do a job that I loved and just have a good time being creative in some way, shape, or form. And then have a roof over my head, a place that I felt safe working, and a place that I felt safe sleeping. And I just wanted to hopefully have a dog. And I've gotten everything that I asked for. So
Oh,
I need to start
Jesus.
asking for more, like maybe the lottery and like a private island plane.
Okay, Kim K, calm
I'm
down.
just gonna keep hustling.
You're like, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Manifest.
Just
Vision
something
board.
like the Maldives, you know? No. Just a little Maldives, I wish she would jump off of a deck and she would like swim in the ocean and just like have less fear.
Next to the dolphins, bitch, or what?
Tahoe needs a life jacket. She has one, but yeah, if there's
Seriously, your dog
dolphins,
is just as bougie as my dog. Okay, like yes, I know that bitch has a life jacket.
I just have been wanting to give her the good life ever since.
It's because we
Yeah.
grew up starting here, and then now like we've perfected and built this life for ourselves. So
Mhm.
yeah, it really does correlate from children to pets or whatever. You want to give them this like grand life. Like
I
I
know.
feel my like Jill and Theo live a better life than I ever had
It's important.
growing up.
But that's the dynamic. Like I felt like if I didn't come back to San Antonio, that I don't think I was going to live a better life than when I was growing up. Like I think I needed to make sure that I came back and I like had my family and was able to be part of my family's families and able to like do what I wanted at least here once for some period of time. Do I think I'll stay? I don't know. Do I think it's all that I want to have is San Antonio and being here and being happy? It's been good, but I don't know that it's going to be the only place or the only thing. So that's the difference.
That's one thing I do have to say that I love about your journey. You've had your relationships, you've had your good ones, your bad ones. You've had, we've all had duds,
Yeah,
but you've never
so many
allowed it
duds.
to phase you. And if anything that I've seen within your glow up is that you really did take it from like here to here with
Thank
yourself,
you.
And all of these guys, and we heard it, we know, all the lines they use on us from A to Z. Oh, you're never going to be good enough. You're this or you're that. And
Mhm.
the ones that, of course, that you've told me before that they've told you.
Yeah,
And it makes me just like kind of like chuckle on the inside, knowing it's like, you're a world class traveler. You do the damn thing. You
I'm
self care
blessed.
every week. You live your best life. You wash your hair. You fill your own gas tank.
I
You know
do.
what I'm saying? Yes, girl.
I do. I do all of that and I'm thankful. And it's like it's nice to be able to think back and realize like even if a guy was like, you ain't shit or like
I love
you
that.
ain't
You
all
ain't shit.
that.
Watch me, bitch. You ain't shit.
Like, no, motherfucker, I am the shit. Like,
Exactly. I ain't shit. I am the shit.
yeah, that's the thing. But I do think there's been guys that have like, I think the funniest thing is the guys who have like definitely shit on my career. Definitely, definitely. And I feel like there's guys that were like, oh my gosh, you're doing this or you're doing that, or every guy, I bet you flirt with them. And it's like, I don't. I don't, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to be that. So I want to be professional and I try to be professional. And if conversations turn to a direction, I'm thankful they've never turned to a direction. That's been something that I felt was like, how do we get here? This isn't okay. No, no. So I'm thankful. But I do think it's funny the guys that have like, not even jealousy to shit on my career, but like, I remember one guy so stupid was like, you don't even, I don't know why you're complaining all the time about being tired at work or tired from work. Like, all you do is braid hair. And I was like, I don't braid hair.
Bitch.
What do you, yeah, I was like, what makes you think that I braid hair? And he was like, that's how people get curly hair. They just braid it, right? And I was like, no. I was like, you think that I just braid it and that's what makes people's hair curly. I was like, what do you think about babies? And then the people are like, he was just like, what? And kids are like, no, I mean, what do you think about babies? They just come out with curls. Did God braid their hair? And it's like the little, I'm going now. God knows my heart. But that's like, but yeah, I was just like, yes. And then babies have their hair braided. He's like, yeah, well, people braid their hair. I was like, babies are not gonna sit for their hair to be braided. It's fine.
Well, yeah,
I
they did
said,
for that whole thing. That's
yeah,
why
so
they
little.
take kidded.
They barely sit for a diaper change. I just was like, oh God, no, I don't braid. Like literally, people's hair is curly because it grows out of their head. They put product in it, different things. Yeah, but like as far as people have it, it's just what there's people that it just grows out of their head. They don't have to put a curling iron in it. They don't have to braid it. And I was like, I don't even braid. Like, I don't even braid. I could do the basic braids. That's it. And that's why when we would watch Insecure all the time, that Nathan was my favorite because he was like, no, I don't braid. It's not my gift. And it's like, it's not my gift. It's not.
In hands.
No, I gave up trying. I was like, my hands are hurting. This
Give
is
yourself some better hands.
the little hands, those hands that people keep put on the cats.
I've always wanted one. I could be like, here,
Mac
use my strong hand.
No. Oh, I hated that movie though. Not even just because of that. I did not like those movies.
It never bugged me because of my ex, but I'm just like at the same time, I'm like,
I never realized that. I never realized that. Yeah.
yeah,
But like there's plenty of people who don't have hands in different things and little things.
yes.
God forbid I have what I got.
I mean, he got me whenever because I didn't notice it. Like we went on a couple of dates before
Yeah, yeah.
I noticed it, and that was because like he just never had him. But he was cool. He had finesse about him. Yeah, he was suave.
That's funny.
We were young.
What you think when you're young? But no, that's the thing. That's what I was like. I can only say that, yeah, the guys have been guys. Plenty of duds, plenty of duds.
I think the thing that I don't mind about the duds again, it let you learn what you didn't want anymore.
Yeah, everyone got me closer to like understanding like what I prefer, what I really needed, and what I didn't like. Didn't like, just thought I liked it. Just felt like that's like all guys.
Agreed. Because there's been several times where I've again thought this is what I wanted to do, and then lo and behold, this isn't what I want to do.
Oh my God, the wildest is like when it's a walk away moment or what like led up to things, and you're just like having this like montage of like all this shit that's like red flag, like all of that shit. And then the other dynamics of just being like, this is the moment. This is the moment that like I am,
Done
yeah.
over it. It's like like we were talking about, off before we started recording. The clear lines of communication and you know saying what is on your mind, being mind readers.
Yeah.
I am so over it. I am so over
Yeah.
people assuming, especially because the one thing that I have really, really strived to be better about within my growing and healing is communication. I've never once lied to that person and said, this isn't what I'm about, this is this or this, or different scenarios.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But when it's like there's the line of communication clearly isn't there and a lot of the messages are hazy, what do you
Yeah.
expect? I don't get it. I don't get life. I don't get men. I wish I liked women a little bit more. I discover that pool. Just
Just
saying.
like I wish. I just think I think that there's gonna be more. There's gonna be better. There's always gonna be like I think that 80/20 is a big
Yes.
situation. I think
Oh,
that's a
no, that's a
big
good one.
situation.
Agreed. Yes. I think the 80/20 is out there. I think, being able to say, this is what I look for in a partner. This is something that I've learned that I don't like in a partner. I do think that all of those, it, it all makes sense in a way, if that.
Yeah, definitely all led me to here. Not mad at it. Not gonna regret. Could have done better.
Mm, I agree with that. No. Could have
Could
done
have done
better.
better. Not my shining moment. That's what should I say?
You know what? I I I cannot not agree that we've all had our moments where, you know, we we, we thought things looked better and then we took off the beer goggles and
Oh my gosh, that's a big thing about it is I try to remind myself not only was my brain not developed because I was like 27 and younger. If I just start my journey from 27 on out, I've actually been doing pretty good. But considering that I had to get through my 20s, I was
we all have to experience the 20s. My 20s were a lot of moving, a lot of figuring out my career, a lot of Jill happened, my daughter happened. Uh, in my later 20s, but I feel
Well, I
like
told you how Christina, the one who you were first seeing in when you were working at Olive Garden, she told me, she was like, when I turned 20 something, she was like, I think it was turning 21. She was like, your 20s are great, have fun, enjoy it. They're gonna be the best. She was like, you're gonna be just going through it. She's like in so many different ways. I think she said, but your 30s, she was like, your 30s are gonna be so much better. You're gonna have you're gonna have your finances, you're gonna have like your life together, you're gonna have more of your confidence, you're gonna know like who you are, who you're not. She was just kind of like explaining a lot of that. And I was like, that's dope. Like, I think age is such a privilege, such a privilege. And I've never been scared. I want to age gracefully and I do what I can. I might still get some work done. Who knows? I'm not saying that gracefully,
I
but
would
I'm
love lipo personally. I would love
not
lipo.
scared.
I'm
But
not it. The lipo, or like, can you take the lipo and the fat that you get from all my other areas? My ass is good, it's tight, it's right, but can you put it all up in my boobs?
I think there's something that does that.
I really would just like that. Like
I
that would be
think
my
there's
whole
something
procedure.
that
Like
does
just
that.
put all that. Just take it, please. Like Saturn never brought them. Can Dr. Miami or somebody do it? Like let's keep it real. I'm just saying that'd be great.
Go
Well,
get a consultation.
just a little bit. I just want to be proportionate. Just proportionate to the butt. Just just like
I think everybody's trying. I think everybody's trying. But yeah, no, I don't remember what we were talking about.
no, it's such a dark. We just your goals and whether that means you're gonna do, a little bit of plastic surgery, whatever makes you happy.
Yeah, I think that's how I'm in this business. Like, you're just gonna have to figure it out. And sometimes part of figuring it out might be hair, might be makeup, might be skincare, might be nails. I think it helps us figure it out. So I'm glad I have a career that I could be creative in. And I'm glad that every relationship that I had that didn't work out has brought me to a point where I could just continue like the best relationship with myself. Because that's where I think looking back, I had it all wrong. Is my relationship with myself was just really like fucked up. And I had to reprogram every bit of that. I had to raise myself in a different way. No shade to my mom and my dad, but I had to re-raise myself to be a person who I now want to be and who I think of like that saying of like be the person that you didn't see when you were growing up.
Mm-hmm.
I saw some great people growing up. Don't get me wrong. I saw some bad and some good, but I didn't see somebody who was sober
Mm-hmm.
as much as I can remember, who wasn't pregnant or, something like that. But I didn't really see that. So I was going to be just fine when I stopped drinking. And when I stopped drinking, that also made a whole impact on my 30s and me having the best time of my life because not drinking saved my finances. Not drinking made me a better hairstylist. Not drinking made me more of a better like mental state to sustain some of the heavy things that come through your door when you're doing hair. If you do have to deal with somebody who's a domestic violence or been through something that's been maybe you're cutting someone's hair because they've gone through terrible accidents and they don't have the same ability to style their own hair. They can't have their mobility in their hand only goes so far. Maybe they're blind, maybe they don't have an eye, maybe they maybe they've have scars, maybe they just got plastic surgery and you have to wash their hair differently. Like there's a lot of stuff that they don't talk to you about in beauty school that way, which I think would have been better in hindsight. But because I've just always looked at just doing the best I could, being the most honest and like integrity based hairstylist for the skills that I had. If I didn't have the skills, then I was going to either go try to figure out the skills, getting them, or finding a friend who I think is mastering the skills so I can recommend to them because there's enough for all of us to have it. Like nobody should be greedy. Like thousands and millions of people who have curly hair and don't have curly hair, they all still need their hair done. We can all get it, guys. We don't need to step on somebody else to bring ourselves up. Like,
It's not about that. It's not
yeah,
about
there's enough for everybody to get it.
exactly. There is enough for everybody to get their bread. And I cannot agree more. Like,
Once I shifted my mindset that way, I will say that I think my career changed, not only because of my boss and the motivation and the things that I was given from a safe work environment and a clear mind, night and day. Then I was able to start focusing on like my fitness and my diet and like looking at my health and trying to make myself better overall for just who I wanted to show up for myself as. That's been the journey now.
you get that. What would you give for advice for someone, starting on their journey, midway through their journey, and, contemplating, hey, maybe this isn't for me, like just wanting to quit? What would you say for them? What would you say for the 20 and 30-year olds out there that are still writing their stories
Whether
like you?
it's
What
like if
would your wisdom be?
I think that's a good way to put it is writing their stories because you don't have to have it all figured out. This
Oh
doesn't
no.
have to be a one part story. It's my dog, my
I
baby.
know we can hear
She's
her offset.
so bad. You hear my baby girl. Behave. I'm gonna tell you the truth. You need to hush. No, I'll be yelling at her really, but this I don't want to be yelling at them.
Don't be yelling at my listeners now.
I know. Tahoe, hush.
There you go.
So
Use your mom voice.
I know.
It's mom
I feel
voice.
like she could feel my eyes through the
She
to
really
the
could.
door.
You just have to do the whole name because you're Mexican. You gave her a whole name.
She needs to
You're
behave. She'll behave. But I do think if I had to tell somebody that it doesn't have to be the first chapter, it doesn't have to be the first book. You could still figure it out. Like there's never time that's too late to change your path and shift your lane, move take the different fork. There's never it's never too late. And if it's something that you do want and you have to take a step back and you're not going to be able to fulfill it or you're not going to be able to actually like make it be whatever you thought it would be, doesn't mean it's not still going to end up being great, if not sometimes even better, than you thought it would be. Because I do think in some ways I was just setting the bar low enough. Not in the worst way, but I was setting it low enough and I definitely surpassed it. So now I feel like I have the opportunity to like, now I could start to dream. Now I can start to not only dream, but now I can start to actually like show up for myself differently. And I hope that people are learning that if they're going through something right now, if they're trying to find their path and they don't have it, you got plenty of time, bro. Or sis, like you got plenty of time. Plenty
I
of
love
time.
that. Yeah, thank you. That was the best thing that,
That's sweet.
anybody could hear. Agreed, because, you know, there is one thing that I've learned. It's you can always rebrand. You, you know, the only true failure is never really getting back up on the wheel and trying again and just following through with your
Yeah.
goals.
Yeah, I think some of my fears are not being able to have goals.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, exactly. And I
Wonderful.
appreciated having you on. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
I plan to have you on for future episodes, of course, to come. If you are interested in wanting to book an appointment, see a little bit of her portfolio and her work journey within her social media, all of her handles are going to be listed after the video. So go make sure to subscribe,
Thank
follow,
you.
give her a like. You can see how she does the damn thing because I'm telling you, she is a hair goddess. Tune in every Tuesday, guys, for a
Sweet.
new episode. And do you have any signing offs?
I'm just thankful that you've had me back and excited to see more of what you do with it.
Yeah.
Congratulations on having another good leap of faith.
Thank you.
You just got to
No,
keep leaping.
yes, thank you. Thank you.
Mm.
You can now find The Gift of Gab on Spotify, YouTube, Apple. The possibilities are endless, guys. See y'all soon. Stay tuned. Bye.